platforms. This is
No, this is the first for TikTok.
bananas. Yeah. Okay. So I will go ahead and ask for grace because this is the first time that we're actually going live on 3 different platforms. We've got Facebook on the computer, Instagram on my phone, and then we finally hit the 1,000 follower mark. Actually, we've hit it a couple of weeks ago, but this is the first time that we're actually going to go live on TikTok. So thank you, TikTok, and all of your magical filters.
Yeah, I'm not sure which camera to look at. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, they're everywhere. So I have to, if you guys follow us on Instagram, I'm going to have to take a picture of this setup and put it out there because it's pretty spectacular. I'm not going to lie. Anyway, so happy Wednesday, guys. Hope you're enjoying this beautiful day. I hope it's just,
Hi everybody.
I hope it is just as beautiful where you are as where we are. While we're waiting for some folks to jump on, I'm going to show you my newest.
As I drink out of my tiny mug.
That's your tiny mug. Yep, I'm going to show you my newest.
It's behemoth.
My behemoth. So, as our clients and friends know, most of you guys, we started the Easton Accountability Challenge Round 2. So last year we did a fitness journey with our clients and friends that was just like, it's just a Facebook group for us to, track our walking or track our workouts and make sure that we're being healthy or whatever. So this year I decided to add another layer to it for my own personal benefit, which is a plan that, so what is this, a 16 point plan? And one of those things on that plan is to drink enough water a day. And that's something that, like, I'm lucky if I get 30 ounces. People call me a camel because I just don't drink a lot of water. But
Well, now you're hugging this thing
but
like it's
now
your baby.
I'm hugging this thing like it's my baby. So I will let you know how it goes. Good morning, Vicky. Good morning, Janice. So anyway, I've got this big behemoth and we'll see how it goes. I have a little self-doubt about it just because I know myself, but I'll put it on the story later on to see how I do. Anywho, yeah, have you done anything? Because, like, this is also my, 4 days in a row. We started the challenge on Monday, and I have gone on my walkabouts every morning since. So yesterday I did, it's like Monday and Tuesday I almost did 3 miles, and then today I only did 1.5 miles because I was with my dogs and they kept stopping every 5 feet.
Yeah, it's tough with them because they want to sniff everything.
Yeah, they want to sniff
mark everything.
for sure. But anywho, so yeah, we'll get right into it then. What's your learning moment this week? I was so impressed. I've been going on this crazy mindfulness journey over the last 10 days, I guess is what it feels like. Is like this roller coaster. Yeah, probably about 10 days or so. And that is spilling over into the team. And so Will and I had a great conversation the other day about time blocking, and he implemented it. So let's talk about what you learned.
Yeah, no. So I started time blocking. It's still a learning process. It's not perfect. But no, time blocking is something that I've always struggled with. I've been really good about having controlled chaos in my life and managing that. But I think if I want to take everything, personal business to the next level, then I need to start time blocking. And basically all it is just making sure that it starts the night before. So the night before I'll sit down and I'll be like, all right, well, what are the things that I need to get done tomorrow? I'll look at the stuff already on my schedule, take off anything that's unnecessary, and then I will categorize them from what's most important, make sure that gets done. But it's kind of like a organized to-do list, but holding myself accountable to it is essentially how I see time blocking.
Yeah, and it's the accountability piece, I think, that we all struggle with, because it's easy to sit down. Well, it's not that easy, but sitting down and actually having the plan of this is how this day is going to go, and then sticking to it. But the thing I was most impressed with is how he was able to stick to it and what opened up for him about that.
Yeah. So normally, our office is also located in our in a neighborhood, our farm that we do a lot of business in. So for someone to hit me up and say, "Hey, I want to see this house right now," we're standing in front of it, and me just instead of jumping out of my chair, stopping whatever I'm doing, and working on my own business, going out and showing a house to somebody who may or may not even be qualified to get the house. So instead, I was able to have a very transparent conversation with them and let them know that, hey, usually we're appointment only. You can schedule a time to see the house. I'm so happy that you're excited to see this house. but here's the times that I'm available, and they respected it, which was great. But yeah, we were able to coordinate a time that was open for me and my schedule to be able to show them that house versus just jumping on the chance to like show it to them or whatever. So yeah, and it's a learning process. So like the next day I'll reflect and say, all right, well, what went well, what didn't go well, and with time blocking, I'm also learning that you don't want to have it down to the minute of like everything you're doing. You actually want to leave open time for, if
emergencies and fires.
Emergencies, fires, like chaos that comes with our business. So it's being able to juggle that and incorporate that into my daily schedule.
Chaos. That is so true. It's like, as we love real estate so much, but there is an element of chaos to it that is never to be. I don't think it's not necessarily avoidable in all cases.
Yeah.
But you can control the controllables. So
things always come up.
Yeah, but things always come up. Yeah. So my big learning moment this week was actually the difference between vulnerability and what's that word? Transparency. The difference of vulnerability and transparency. So we all struggle with stuff, right? Like, I have a lot of fears. What are you doing?
Nothing.
Okay. He's clicking on stuff, and I was like, I got sidetracked. So we all have things about our personalities that we like to hide. It's like, I've got this big bubbly personality that is bigger than the world, but we all have insecurities, and we all have these voices that the voice in your head that is just like telling you all the negative thoughts or whatever. So, intrusive thoughts, all of that. So it's like going into a really deep dive with that and being honest with who I am at my person and how I can get control of the thoughts and be the best version of myself. And like, I do a lot of self-help stuff, right? So it's like I went to the one there, we both went to the one thing in Texas this past year. I read a lot of books. God, I love my therapist. I saw her for 4 years straight. It's gone to the entire Landmark curriculum, like all of these things, because I'm on this path to like being the best possible version of myself, because we only have one life, at least with this consciousness anyway.
More on that later.
More on that later. But anyway, it's been interesting these last couple days of everything coming up for me, and like just I started floating more, I started meditating more, and just like really getting inside of myself. So if you guys start seeing a deeper version of Nicole, I'm always transparent, because like anything that has happened in my life, I will tell you all about it, because there is nothing to hide. But there is a very big difference between being vulnerable with what the emotions are that are wrapped around that, right? So my goal, good morning, Missy, my fellow Enneagram 8. She's an 8-wing 7. She's my soul sister.
Oh, is that the one you were talking about?
Nicole
loves you. She's obsessed.
I know. I'm obsessed with you. I love you so much. She's my favorite place friend. Don't tell Sarah. Anyway, it's going to be a journey though, and I cry a lot, and I message my friends a lot who are holding this safe space for me. Missy says, ha ha ha. So if you guys get to see a more centered and calm and better version of Nicole, I'm excited to go on this journey and show her all to you, because she's pretty cool. At least I think she is anyway. Woosah. Anyway, market update, more of the same. Go for it.
Literally more of the same. I don't know how it is like across the country. I know, like you said, like Missy's like, where's she located?
I think you're in Oklahoma, aren't you, Miss?
Yeah, I don't know what it's like in Oklahoma. We can give you a market update of here locally.
Well, yeah. No, it's the market update for where we are, like here in the Northern Virginia and DC area. So it's more of the same. It's an aggressive seller's market. There's multiple offers on everything. The showing, as long as it's priced appropriately, you're still not going to be able to get out there and so here's a perfect scenario for you. I have a absolutely beautiful house out in Indian Head, Maryland, and we knew that it was overpriced. Like, because we had to list it as a certain way. Mm-hmm. What does this say? This host is inviting you to go. No, I don't want to do that. I don't know how to TikTok, guys. This is fun. Anywho, so we have this house out in Indian Head, Maryland. It's beautiful. It's staged. It's nearly flipped, but the current owner bought it 6 months ago, and so we had to price it a certain way because she didn't have the money to bring to the table if she wanted to sell it. So we put it out there. We had one showing and one offer whenever we first listed it, and that's it. But that's because it's about $25,000 over from what that current market it allows for. Even though the phenomenon to me is that, like, if we would have priced it super low and had all these showings, it could have bid itself up to where it needed to be. But there's just no way of knowing that.
But that's like the flip side. So that condo that I had that needed a lot of work, it wasn't flipped, it wasn't renovated. Like, we listed it low and ended up selling for like 25,000 over list price, and it made no sense. People were waiving contingencies, appraisals, like didn't matter, and it was because it was priced right, and people we got the traffic came through, and they're fighting for it. People just want a house.
Yeah, people just want a house. It's true. Which is like what happened over this weekend on Avocet. We have a really beautiful little townhouse that came on over the weekend, and of course we had over 20 showings, and it was great, and multiple contracts, and it bid itself up, and they waived everything. No appraisal, no inspections, literally nothing. And that's the case how it was for our Stafford property as well. Now this is where the part that I just can't wrap my head around is like, last year, appraisals were like the bane of our existence. They would just like, you would get it under contract and you would get it under contract for so far above list, and then all of a sudden it's like the appraisal would come in and just like knock you out.
Not today.
Not today. Things are coming in. Like, I have a buyer over Montclair. The appraisal came in, let's see here, it was listed at $585. We're under contract at $635. The appraisal came in only $16,000 low from the contract price, which doesn't make sense. I'm happy that it did, but it's like, I think it's because of all of the aggressive pricing, and people are just pulling out money, and it's just like it's ticking it up. But the same thing happened down in Stafford too, which is further south than where we are. The appraisal came in at value, and we listed it appropriately, like, and we thought we were being even $5,000 more, a little bit more aggressive than where we were. But whenever she even sent me the appraisal, she's like, "You're never going to believe this." So I don't know if there's any appraisers out there listening. I want to know how this is happening. Like, what has changed so dramatically from last year to this year that I think the only thing that we've had come back low so far this year is the buyer in Montclair, but it wasn't even that low. It was only $16,000 low.
And like, I don't know if they're training appraisers to adjust for the market and like supply and demand. But yeah, I mean, Molly's house I think was 20,000 over, with, I mean, nothing really to support it, and boom,
yeah,
came in above value.
Yeah, for sure. Oh my God, that reminds me of Jen's. So we also have a beautiful when I tell you, this condo is absolutely gorgeous. We had 3 condos go under contract at the same time within, like, right here in Belmont, in neighboring buildings. And she sent me the message yesterday. She's like, "You're never going to believe this." She was like, "It appraised at $585." And I was like, "You are kidding. How?"
Is that the house where they make the soup? Those people?
The soup. Yes,
oh,
the soup.
They make good soup.
They make great soup.
Yeah, great soup.
But it appraised at $585, and I almost fell down. I was just like, I got up and I just wanted to fall, just to be dramatic, because it didn't make any sense. Because there's like, Waterfront was appraising that high. So how was it that this was one that's facing the streets? It appraised that high.
And ours was the one that we just I just sold. Kendra's unit was $580. They listed at $590, but we actually got it for $580. So in this market, we got it for $10K under.
Yeah.
But yeah, $580. But still, that one, like, I could see that one at $580. I couldn't see Jen's at $585.
So these are the conversations that we're having amongst the team. It's like, this is the most wild. The last 3 months, I think, has been the most. There's no past experience that any of us have had that we can predict what's happening or going on, because it just doesn't make sense. But whatever it is, I'm excited to see where it goes. Which it could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing. There's only who knows. But either way, the rates are still low, and we're still looking at buying houses. You should know that the competition is super, super steep around here.
Yeah, I've got 2 cash buyers right now. I can't get nothing.
Yeah, because there's more cash around here. Like, I don't think this is like how it is everywhere in the world, but at least right here.
Well, now people can guarantee the appraisal gap, so
Yeah,
it doesn't matter if you have cash or not.
yeah, that's true. Because they can guarantee the appraisal gap. So, what other stories you got? What about Nagatu or Luella?
Let's see. Well, I absolutely love my clients, Nagatu, and his wife, Addis. We just closed on their house yesterday, and they were in here. But there's clients that you love, and there's clients that you enjoy working with, and then there's clients that you absolutely love and enjoy working with. And these two are that, and they trusted me throughout the entire process, and they were like, every time I would get with him, I would learn something new. And he happens to be like this coffee connoisseur. He's obsessed with coffee, loves coffee. We have this fancy pants coffee machine
That I have never been
yeah,
able to.
you can't really see it back here, but
She's like right back
yeah,
there. You can-
but yeah. So after closing, instead of like the okay, goodbye, blah blah, congratulations, let's take a photo. Instead, he's teaching me how to make espressos, proper espressos, using the machine, and everything. So I learned so much, and like everything has an effect on how the espresso comes out, from like
Humidity,
the coffee
all
beans
that.
that you use to like how you tamp it down to the water, the temperature of the water, the pressure, everything. So instead of just having like a regular transaction, we are over here learning how to make delicious coffees. So I'm going to practice. They live in our neighborhood, so I'm going to practice on everyone here in the office every day. So come by and get a cup of coffee or espresso or latte. I can make them for you now.
Yeah, they're super tasty. It was funny because I was like, we have junk coffee. Like, I don't want this coffee. And
But we
then
have this beautiful coffee machine that we
Right.
don't use, that just sits here.
And then Nagatu came in here and he made this fancy espresso, and then I immediately spilled it on myself because I'm also a klutz occasionally. So it's sweet whenever you have clients who are just like super kind people. Because we also I own an interior design firm, and so I do color consults and occasionally, and I'll do some design work for clients. And so we actually got to spend a little bit of time with them a couple weekends ago doing a full color consult for the new place. So that was a lot of fun. And I saw her this morning on my walk because we live in the same neighborhood. And she said, well, we're going to have you guys over for dinner because they're Ethiopian and I love Ethiopian food. So like the idea
I
that
just
I
like
get
that sponge bread with
yeah.
everything. It's so good.
I love all the curries. Like, but anyway, so it's like being able to share in their culture and share in their experience, and just being such kind and wonderful people. It's really a cool experience. And one of the reasons why I love this business so much. Anyway, this is a really short reality. Do you got anything else? No, I think that's about it. Well, guys, thank you for joining us on today's reality. If you are looking to buy or sell a house in Northern Virginia, DC, or Maryland, we are here for you. We love you. And now I'm going to figure out how to turn off all 3 of these cameras.
Just start one at a time.
I know. Facebook, you're going down first. Love you.
All right.
Mean it. Bye.